Hey again, everyone. So now it's time to finish off this second part of the holiday haul video for 2012. And I've already shown you my books, my paint supplies, I've discussed the camera, the lens filter, the paints, and all that other stuff. My little dinosaur skulls, all that. But now it's time to go on to some of the more interesting things. And so I guess we'll start with this. I picked up at Half Price Books this Red Faction Armageddon game. And this will be a part of the Steam network, which I've already got. And I haven't had a chance to actually go online and download and go through the whole process yet. But this was only $6. And it was right there where I was buying the rest of my books and stuff, so I figured it was too good to pass it up, and the reviews for it say it's pretty decent. So for that cheap, and to have something new to play, and which I desperately need pretty much, I figured this was not a bad deal. And I've heard the reviews say that it is pretty decent, like I mentioned before. What they loved the most was this weapon called the Magnet Gun, which, if you're not familiar with the Red Faction series, this series is built around this destructible world interface, where you can destroy the world in all sorts of different interesting ways. They call it Geomod, where you can use debris and things for cover, or you can destroy a platform to cause your enemies to come crashing down, or to have rubble land on your enemies and cause damage. And the Magnet Gun, as they describe, has two different stages of how to use it. You fire one lead into one thing, fire another lead into the other, and when you do that, the two leads, wherever they are, whatever they're connected to, slam together. And that, they describe, is just buckets full of fun. And I'm looking forward to trying some of this up, some mayhem like that. And for $6, couldn't go wrong, really. And in addition to all that electronic media, we have a couple other things. Just as sort of a side gift, I received this Blue Planet disc, this DVD, covering the episodes of Open Ocean and The Deep. And I really liked the episode for The Deep, because all these really, really deep ocean parts and deep ocean creatures have always intrigued me. And there's this little interesting fact they throw in that technically, we really only know, we actually know more about outer space and the moon and things like that than we do about the depths of our own ocean. That they are better understood and better explored in some sense. So this was a cool thing to watch. Enjoyed that. And something along similar lines that I wish I could have enjoyed was this Yosemite Blu-ray disc about the Sierra Mountains. I say I wanted to watch it because, well, my laptop has a Blu-ray player, and I have played several different Blu-ray movies on it without a problem. But every once in a while, there comes a disc that requires my, whatever it is, this Power DVD movie thing that came with the computer. That is what, it's the program that reads Blu-ray discs and plays them. Windows Movie Player, Media Player, somehow can't read Blu-ray discs. It just won't. There's no setting or feature or mode about it that lets you. So I was relying on this Power DVD program that came pre-installed on my laptop in order to run that. I think most computers do come with some form of it. But because this is a certain format of Blu-ray, they want you to go online and update it. And I think when I looked into this a long time ago, it said something along the lines of having to pay like $100 to upgrade it to a format that'll keep up with today's format of discs. And I figure, what if they just keep coming out with new formats and they keep wanting you to upgrade again and again, and that's $100 down the tube, down the tube, down the tube. Well, I don't know. It kind of pisses me off. But this was only $5. Maybe I'll find a way to watch it someday. I don't know. But right now, I'm kind of reluctant to go buying any more Blu-rays because it is kind of a gamble. But again, $5, I guess it's not such a big deal. So hopefully I'll watch it someday. And lastly, we have The Dark Knight Rises. And in a similar way that the Yosemite Blu-ray didn't work, neither did this. But I figured that was coming. I thought it was a possibility. Oddly enough, I managed to get the Inception Blu-ray to work. That came out a couple of years ago or whatever it was. That works fine. At first it didn't, but then I did as much as I could, and then it worked. But now I've tried this, and the Blu-ray doesn't work on my computer either. But I thought of that, and I made sure to ask for the one that had the DVD inside as well. So, no more bullshit, because I was going to watch this movie again. And it was one of those movies that when I saw it the very first time, I didn't like it as much as I thought I was going to. I let the sequel, The Dark Knight, pretty much rule my expectations a little too much. I expected it to be a certain thing, and in a certain way. And that's just not what this story was trying to do. And that's what I get now. That it may not be perfect, even if you accept it for what it is, but that's really what you kind of need to do. You need to accept it for what it's trying to say and trying to do. It's trying to go down a different road and say different things and do different things. And if you let it, you'll come away from it a little more impressed than I think if you expect it to be The Dark Knight Part 2, which by its own right is one of the best movies around, in my opinion. So it's hard to live up to a standard like that anyway. But if you don't accept the movie for what it is just trying to be, then that makes it harder to enjoy it. Which goes for pretty much anything, I guess. But anyway, I don't want to ramble too much. I did enjoy this a lot more the second time round. The first time I saw it was the only time I'd seen it up until I'd just watched it recently here. And yeah, having watched it a second time definitely helps. And having those captions on definitely helps with Bane's speech distortion. Makes it a lot easier to understand. In general, I love to keep the subtitles on just because I'm so used to them. Watching, Gundam episodes and all that. But anyway, good to have this finally. It was fun to watch it again. And yeah, so moving on then. There's a few other things to show. I'm not sure which to show first. Well, I suppose as long as we're somewhere in the electronics area yet, I might as well show off this little item. The Garmin Nuvi 50 LM GPS navigational system. And I've never been a fan of driving, just in general. I hate dealing with the traffic and with people who don't know what they're doing or where they're going. But for myself, you know, it's like I have to pay so much attention to what everybody else is doing. It's hard enough to just get somewhere and find somewhere, especially somewhere you've never been before. So this is going to be pretty helpful in just navigating me around. And I've already switched it on a couple times, charged up the battery and did all that. And immediately it already locked in on where I live, pretty much. Not the exact address, but just in the, like, the next one over or something, basically. I mean, it was just precise. So I've also checked out the reviews online for this, seeing as I don't want to rely on a product that'll lead me to the middle of nowhere and say I've made it. You know, but this seems okay. Any issues that people have just been normal and very rare. So it's good to have something like this. It's quite a bit late, but I'll take it. And at any rate, now we're moving on to some of the last, and I'd say for you guys, some of the best stuff. So this, of course, would be the Gunpla section. And there's not a ton to show, because I've already got a huge backlog. But there's a couple things that I specifically wanted to get just because they caught my eye, and I had some ideas about what I wanted to do. Well, first of all, when I was at my local hobby store, saw that they had one of these clear action-based ones. Now, the way it is going with prices nowadays, it doesn't make a lot of sense to opt for buying these online unless you're going to buy them in bulk. Because the shipping costs on top of everything else, you know, you're not saving that much money unless, of course, you're buying by the bulk and the shipping stays relatively low by comparison. Well, okay, but I figure at $8 for one of these, that covers the cost of the stand just in yen price, and like maybe $1 for shipping and $1 for tax at the most. I mean, it's not a bad deal. You might be able to get a little better online, but then also you have to wait for it. And you have to actually think to buy one when you're going to place an order. You know, it's good to have these available every once in a while, so when I see one there and I know that I don't have any open, then I, you know, like, available for a kit, you know, standing by, well, then I pick one up, and then I know I have one for whatever I need it. So, good to have that. Now, the next item was a bit of an impulse buy, but I have a bit of a plan for it, though those plans will have to wait until I get a new video editing program. But anyway, my plan was to build this super deformed Gundam, I guess it might be the 20th anniversary version or something like that. Whatever it is, whatever version. I wanted to try to do an on-camera build of a very simple, very easy little kit, because in the dead of winter, such as it is, I can't go outside, I can't paint my kits, I have no possible means of setting up an indoor airbrush setup, I lack the spray booth or anywhere to put it. And dealing with the cold temperatures, I'm not going to be opening any windows. So basically, I wanted to try to vent my Gunpla cabin fever by just doing a very simple, very easy project that I don't need to work on very much, if at all. Don't even need to paint, really, unless I choose to do a detail or two. But something like this would make for a fun video to shoot as I'm building it. I think that'd be fun, you know, in the spirit of, say, like Too Old for Toys or something like that. So, the problem, though, is that in order to do a video like that, I am more than likely going to need a video editing program, and not just the thing on YouTube that lets you combine whatever you've uploaded. It wouldn't work that way, I don't think. It wouldn't work well. So, I'm thinking it's going to be best to wait until I have a proper video editing program, and hopefully that won't be too long of a wait, actually, because I think I do have one in mind that I'd really like to get. I just need to be able to get it, and that could take a little time. I don't know how long. But at any rate, something like this would be fun to build. And to hold you over a little bit, I do have a very quick little unboxing video of this kit, already pre-edited from the time that I still had a working video editing program. You'll remember all my computer issues from a while ago, and you'll have to fill in the blanks, but basically I used that program to make this kit's unboxing video. But now that I don't have it anymore, can't do any more to show this kit off. But I will have the unboxing video posted sometime after this, and then, again, whenever I can do something more, I will. So, that should be fun. Interesting little project there. But now we come to the final thing, at least for now, of what I've gotten for the holidays. And this is a kit that for quite a long time I had always been keeping my eye on, but whenever it came to thinking about buying it, I always passed, either in lieu of newer, better things, or just because, you know, I didn't feel like I knew it well enough to justify buying it. Well, those days are over, because now I've got it, and I'm quite happy to have it. And what I have here is the Master Grade Zeta Plus C1 version. I really like this one. Between the monochromatic color scheme, the blue eyes, this big gun, the radar dome with all the little blue lights on it, I mean, for its age, it's pretty well detailed. It's pretty well put together. That Wave Rider mode. That Wave Rider mode. Come on. And just everything about this thing, pretty much. I really like it. And this is the kit that I bought these two Tamiya paints for that I showed in the last part. The gunmetal and the metallic gray. Because what I'm thinking of doing, once the weather improves, is painting this in a monochromatic metallic gray color scheme with some gloss black for all the black parts that come molded in that color, like the joints, the hands, little parts of the feet, whatever else. And the white I'm thinking of doing in some kind of bright metallic silver color. The blue, like on the feet and the side of the head, I'm thinking of doing in some form of a metallic or pearl blue indigo color, sort of a deep blue color, but more in the purple range. I may even just do purple, but I'm not sure. And at any rate, the point between the two different colors of this metallic gray here, between the gunmetal and metallic gray, is to try to do something of a real grade kind of color scheme, but in metallic grays. I've yet to figure out the distribution of these colors, the overall scheme. I've yet to settle on whether I'm going to use these colors or not. Again, these are acrylics, and though they can be airbrushed, I'm not entirely sure if they're strong enough to paint over an overall kit like this, especially one that transforms. But at any rate, I figured it was a good idea to get the colors and try them out, and they look okay. But again, in terms of a finished product, I'm not sure. And there are a couple areas... No, never mind. I was thinking of something else. But anyway, as it stands, that's the plan. And I don't know if I'll really go through with it or when I'll get a chance to, but I was somewhat inspired by Strider Prime when he built and painted his super deformed O Gundam in the sort of rollout colors. That was cool because it showed these different metallic gray colors, and they just worked together interestingly well. And I thought, maybe it'd work as well for something like this. And doing it in sort of the real grade color separation scheme, I think would be pretty cool. So, anyway, this is something I'm really glad to have. I have already shot a selection of clips with which to create an unboxing video for this, but again, because no video editing software right now, I can't do anything with them right now. So, again, this will have to wait until I get that program, but again, hopefully, it won't be later than sooner. So, that is pretty much everything I got, and I'm quite happy to have what I have. I'll be certain to make some good use out of all of it. And, like I say, I'll try to have whatever videos are in the works now posted as soon as I can, whenever I first get my chance at it. And hopefully when those come down the pipeline, you'll watch them and enjoy them. And so yeah, then I guess that pretty much covers this video. So thank you for watching. Hope you've enjoyed it. I know it took a long time to get this out there, but I'm pretty happy with what I've got, and hope you enjoyed the video. So, until the next time, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you later.